hello. We are here today and we are going to have so much fun. Picture this in one sentence. You can now generate, say, I just type in to whatever software like Tokyo Sunset, and all of a sudden I can create a beautiful video with a Tokyo sunset. Um, Spoiler alert, this is where we're headed in video and AI. So, hi, I'm Pip, Seymour Digital Media, and this is,
Phelan, also with Seymour Digital Media.
and today we are talking about video and specifically, let me see if I can, specifically how AI is changing the way we watch and use video. And I know we're all trying to discern which is AI video nowadays when we're seeing things, right? Not only does is AI video a huge thing now, but deciphering who's using it and why and how is some of what we're going to talk about. Because I know some people are scared about their loss of jobs or, if they're creative people at this point in the game of life. Who the game of life? Okay, so Phelan, today we're starting off talking about what?
We're talking about tools and the different aspects of each tool and how to use how AI is getting integrated into video. I thought as like kind of like table setting, we would start with talking about like what are the different aspects that are getting covered by AI tools when it comes to video.
Okay.
So the first one we've seen a lot of, and pretty much everyone's probably seen at this point if you're online at all, is generation. So you give it a prompt, like you said at the start, Batman running down the hallway, chasing the
Aspects that
Hulk.
are getting
Covered by a. So you give it a prompt, like you said at the
uh,
start,
uh,
Batman running down.
sorry.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if that was you or
Yeah, that
me.
was me. I was like, ah, but so
Uh,
go on. So we're
okay.
talking about Hey Gen? No.
Generative, you give it a prompt, it generates it based on what it's learned, and then that creates like a small clip. Uh, Generally, those we'll talk about this a bit more limitations, but one thing to keep in mind is it does really poorly after 60 seconds. The
Oh
video
yeah, they
kind
only
of
give you 8 seconds now.
yeah, it's mostly because they tried to create a whole TV show using AI, and that turned out very poorly. Because after the second minute, it broke down. But we'll go into more of that with the limitations portion in the last half. The next aspect is so taking editing or clipping your own show, so it finds like little moments that it thinks would do really well with social media, and so you could take like a conversation like the one we're having, and it will find little clips within that are about 60 seconds, and then automatically create those as clips and then post that to social media. So
Hmm.
it just basically speeds up doing your like short form content based on your long form content. um and so I think that's a really good use case so far that's come out. And then the other one is taking a script or some sort of text, and then that generates that into a video, and it has like, person talking. And I get a whole bunch of these that are like Reddit AMA things or people on Reddit telling a story, and it just has
Oh.
the yeah, I get them all the time. And so it has some sort of clip from someone playing like a repetitive, boring video game, or doing some sort of craft that looks really nice and compelling, and then it has like the text underneath. Very common with TikTok, from what I understand. Um, and then the last one is re or um like, I guess, upgrading old video. So if you have some sort of
Mm.
grainy like 240p video, you can actually use AI to enhance it to like fill in the cracks basically of your old video that's really grainy, and then improve the quality of it.
Ah, now we use video for a couple of things. We're splitting up clips and we're
Yeah.
editing video. So we use the two main reasons. So we're not doing the generative figure, right? And I don't know if you've done any cinematic video updates. I,
No, I haven't done anything with like the that last one I had. It's a very rare use case, but I've heard it as actually being really good, and it's mostly because it's not trying to like make it whole cloth. It's just trying to fill in. So again, AI is really good at kind of like as a it's a percentage of the thing you're trying to do, not like the whole thing.
the
Uh,
cat wants to be on the keyboard.
yes, I was just gonna say he's like making his mark note on the video.
Right. So the first one, the generative, okay, my local recording has stopped because my computer's working on that. But so the first one we I had some fun with the generative. So this is like taking a picture, and this is with like Velo 3, which
Yeah,
is by Gemini. And you can take a picture and you can put it in. And I'll do a video of that using my phone, I think, later today. But you can take a picture, give it to VLA 3. You only get 3 videos, or that was what was happening that last week. You get 3 videos at max a day, and they maximize out at about 7 to 8 seconds. But it's a little uncanny valley, and that it's similar, like doing something like that, similar to HeyGen and making your AI assistant who looks a lot like you, right?
yeah, yeah. I would say it definitely rode straight into the uncanny valley, emphasizing different parts of your face that weren't really like in the
Yeah, I had
video
brown
clip.
eyes, I think. Yeah,
Uh,
and they were
Your
poppy.
cheeks, your mouth moved in a weird way with that, and um, one other aspect that you could tell a lot of AI videos, especially if it has audio, is that it can't go past a certain decibel range. So it's almost
Hmm.
like EQ banded, and so you can hear like in the text like it very flat voice.
Yeah,
And
there's
it's
no
just because
inflection, right? I'm
yeah.
sure they'll fix that at some point, though. Um, I find
I
that,
mean,
yeah.
generally though, what they're trying to do is balance so many things to make AI work. I suspect that they'll never be able to fix that, which is a
Mm.
good thing for us, is to be able to hear voices and know like, oh, that's AI generated voice. I think that's a good thing. Is that
Yeah, I
they
think
have
it's
physical
scary that
limitations.
people like you have to look for it. There's lots of videos that we've seen passed around that are AI generated, and you really have to be discerning and know what to pick up on, right? Look for
Yeah,
any weird things, slightly out of place things. I saw somebody was doing clips of like the royal family and making a video. It wasn't even them, but a lot of people in the comments were like, "Oh, it's AI," which is good,
yeah.
right? You definitely want to know the difference because people will use the likeness of other people to, you know, uh, garner money and things like that,
Yeah,
right?
or,
So,
or any sort of forgery in order to get some sort of like views or clicks and eyeballs and
mhm.
attention. Uh, it definitely, even the videos themselves beyond the audio, like still has like lots of artifacts in it. You can kind of see like it has like a uncanny sheen on things, and so
Hmm.
you'll always be able to tell. Ironically enough, that's because they figured that most of the like image generation, video generation was fed so much Thomas Kincaid,
Oh,
who was
interesting.
someone that's wrote painted very kitschy, very weird images in the late '90s,
Yeah. This
and
was a
so
long time ago. So are they still using that kind of thing?
well, what happened is that it got, because it scanned the internet for images. His images were so popularized, and there were so
Mm,
many that it fed in, and it's like it polluted the learning database.
hmm.
And so the information that they have is like so filtered through Thomas Kincaid stuff, which is why it's kind of looks weird and kitschy in a lot of images.
Hmm. But this is for AI video. So are the videos affected by his stuff too?
Well, this is the thing, we don't really know, right? At the end of the
Mm,
day, as much as like we want to say, oh, it's this thing that's causing this to happen, we don't
yeah.
know, because that's the whole point of why they did it, is so that they couldn't point it to one exact thing. I will say that OpenAI kind of did a very soft chuckle and didn't answer the question when they asked if they had just scraped all the YouTube for their video generation. So that's kind of one of the things that's like lurking in the background is
Interesting.
that
Yeah. So,
yes, and it's kind of why the lawsuit with Mid Journey and Disney really matter is because that's
mhm.
all like that's got to settle a lot of this stuff, especially with YouTube.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, right? Because the world is changing really quickly in digital marketing, especially because, it was hard to get video done. It was time consuming to cut up and edit video, like hours and hours and hours. So I do think some of these AI generation tools like for the segmenting and editing are really cool. The text prompt to cinematic clip is daunting. I think we're gonna have a lot of different people doing a lot of different things with video, and unless you're really up on video, I think it's the same as like being a copywriter, being a I don't know about a photographer, but being a graphic designer. You want to know all the things, all the things happening in your markets, just because then you can be the person that can talk about it and know about it and enhance footage. You can, know what to offer people for segmenting and editing. Do you have to go get B-roll or can you use it from AI? Like there's a lot of different things, right? Like the we use a lot. We use Descript. And if you've been a fan of Descript, it's a hero over here. But they have something called the Underlord. Underlord. And so I
Hmm.
wanted to say that's scary. And I've been working with the Underlord, and it gets better and better. So I'm able to actually segment more in Descript now. Segment the videos way better. And I think AI can do the clips way better than humans to a degree. What do you think?
I would say that yes, that's definitely one aspect of it. Now I'm remembering that
With
before there
human
was
oversight. Oh, go on.
with human
Sorry.
oversight. So I'm just it's coming back to me that Descript was the first company to implement audio AI generation.
Oh,
Yeah, because now it's coming back to me because they did this 5 years ago.
oh, I don't know. It was really weird and I didn't ever use it. But now you can
Yeah.
actually, so say you have a video. I have a video where you have
Well,
to say, where you're saying something, but you don't want it to say that thing because you don't use that thing anymore and you use another thing. You can actually correct it. I wouldn't say correct it because you can regenerate the word based on your voice. They'll record your voice's
yeah,
pitch and tone.
yeah. So what they originally did, because this is all supposed to be focused, it wasn't around video. This was actually supposed to be strictly for podcasting
Yeah.
because it was easier to generate the audio for that. And what they did is the whole concept of and why they were picked up by A16Z is because they were using it to edit their own podcast for
What's
A16Z, which is
A16Z?
it's a venture capitalist firm. They're one of the big ones. So they invested in Facebook and not Facebook. They missed out on Facebook. But Uber, like pretty much all the big tech companies that you think of,
They invested
A16Z.
in Descript?
They heavily invested into Script as a
Nice.
startup because one of the managers that was handling their podcast, she liked editing it as a document, so
Yeah,
looking
me
at the
too.
words that was on that. And so what they did is they built in, if you say like it's like a 30-second clip, they can then take that, and then that has all the phonemes that you would need in order for a person, they know how they sound out words, so then you could edit
Mm,
out like a specific word and then literally type it in, and then they would know the phonemes that you would use on how your mouth shapes around those words based on the recording they have. And they used
interesting.
AI. Yeah, so they were like one of the first companies to be out there doing that. And so they've been at it for a while. And they do it in a way that is good enough that like you wouldn't notice with their podcasts, like the A6 and Z podcasts. I mean, granted, are they the most expressive people in the world when they're talking about tech? No. So like it can kind of AI can kind of smooth over some patches and you wouldn't really notice it. Is it doing a whole cloth? No. But it
Mm,
does it well enough that you're like, you know, a small edit of like, oh, I didn't mean to say this word, I meant to say this other word, and then you could swap it out. We're live, Maggie.
Ah, that would be my mother in the background. She comes and helps out here and there. It's kind of interesting. Um, so we're talking about the tools we use, and we were talking about Descript. We're also gonna quickly talk about Opus, which I think Opus Clip is a competitor to Descript, although I had it recommended to me by Descript, which was interesting because they both do very similar things. However, they'll do like you can, it's easier to do vertical in there, and it's easier. It's it's less hands-on editing. Um, you know what I mean? You can put your brand stuff in there, and then it'll just generate, and then you review it to kind of clip the edits a little bit more, and you get short form clips for Reels and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, and I'm using those now, and I love it. Um, you can turn blog posts into video explainers. I like that.
Hmm.
Um, I wonder how to do that really well. I have not done that yet. I wonder if anybody who's listening has done that. If you have done that, I'd love to know, and I'd love to know what tools you're using. We There's so much, and I know some people are really afraid of all the things that are happening in this environment. But before we get there, let's talk about Hey Gen and Velo 3. So, which I signed up for Hey Gen. I have not used it. And Velo 3 I've used. That was the Gemini. Phelan, have you tried Hey Gen?
I haven't tried Hey Gen. It's more the VO3 was the one I used because I was already using Gemini for a bunch of other things.
Hmm.
So that's the main one. I find that the videos, if it's generated off the prompt, get to uncanny valley too quickly. So I kind of get weirded out by them. I'll be entirely
Hmm.
honest with it. Whereas using it like the Opus, like to my mind, the Opus clips and the Descripts with Underlord, I find to be much more useful tools to kind of like get do stuff that I'm already doing and kind of get stuff off my plate, which is kind of what if I'm going to use AI tools, that's what I want it to do. I don't
Yeah.
very most of the time, like it's generation stuff. I'm not using as much. I'll be
Oh, yeah.
honest.
I think the Hey Gen and the mini self, I think it still weirds me out quite a bit. So that's not where I'm at, but I think it's interesting, and I think YouTube and Facebook, and we'll all have trouble discerning when people upload like their AI self, and it will be for the human. Like, do humans really want AI generated like mimics of the human you follow? Like I know there's a guy who's got a AI what's it called, a influencer,
Like
and like people don't know it's AI. But I mean, maybe that's just because they're not taught. So this is something we are going to have to teach generations, right, after us, if we still have video like this. But video is the biggest thing on social media. It is the most influential type of media, I find. Like people used to covet, they still do covet being on like the big TV shows, like the big brands. Like that was where they wanted to spend their money. Now the
Mhm.
big TV shows are losing a lot of business due to the fracturing of or democratizing of media, right? So,
Yeah.
because 10 years ago, I don't think we didn't have influencers like we have now.
Uh, no, I mean, we kind of did. We had celebrities, right? Like that's like
Yeah,
the concept of a celebrity. It just became more fractured. And
yeah, yeah.
I would use the word fractured over democratizing because it's like it's just more people that are in the space. It's more algorithms
Hmm.
taking it and individualizing it, and all these other different aspects that are getting promoted. Um, and it has to do with just getting eyeballs, and it's just more fractured and more segmented based on a myriad of things that you watch and read online. And I think that the video is definitely going to be one that it's an interesting space to see where it's going to end up with it. I still think that there's going to be a lot of value with more I don't know, like I still feel like our monkey brains are still wired to be able to pick up on weird little details on people's faces that
If we're taught.
no, I think it's hardwired personally. I think our
Oh,
monkey
interesting.
brains are I think our monkey brains are hardwired because the thing I would say is that the so when they try to like calculate how much data our brains process, they said
Mhm.
it would take a stack of hard like a stack of hard drives all the way to the moon. Is one person's brain. So we ingest so much more information than any computer that we have.
Right.
And so I think that we pick up on so many more subtle things that we don't even know we express about how we see the world. And so I think that some people let themselves get fooled by it, and we're in a time, and
We're
we're
in
in a
a
period.
time of, yeah.
Well, I feel like we're in a period where people are, in a lot of ways, letting themselves be fooled.
Hmm.
They're like they know better. Like if they were actually honest with themselves, they would know better. But I feel like a lot of people are wanting to be fooled because it's just an easier out than actually doing the hard work of thinking through all this stuff. Um,
That's interesting, and definitely a topic for further discussion. I think
yeah,
I think video, I mean, I think it's really exciting that we are having the opportunity as marketers to get our hands and minds all into video because video is so useful. And I think it does help educate people. And I think people are more inclined to listen to video even if they're not watching it, right? But I could be wrong about that. But the thing I am going to try is I think, I'd like to do our FAQs with like Velo 3. So I'm going to do all our FAQs and see if I can make a video with Velo 3 over a few days to answer those and see how that works. And then maybe put them on YouTube and attach them to our website. I think that might be a really good use case. The other thing I'm doing right now is fixing old video assets and updating them because the quality is so much better. The video quality now is so much better. So, which we are seeing. But I know a lot of people are scared about their jobs and like how they're going to cope. And I mean, we wanted to talk about the limitations and how to win with video and generative AI, not just generative AI, just video AI, right?
yeah.
And so, what can't you do, Phelan, with video?
I mean, we've talked about it a couple times so far, but it's like that uncanny valley thing. Is so generating things whole cloth with AI will have weirdness. It's just sort of inherent to the system.
Hmm.
That it will just add some weird features. If you get it to like even doing the AI avatar stuff, does all kinds of weird stuff of that. It generate like it emphasizes different parts of your face that just aren't
Yeah.
natural. Um,
Maybe we could make in the Facebook group, maybe we could do like a fun experiment and we could get people to put a picture into generative AI of themselves and get the video and they can put it in the Facebook group. I think we're going to do that. That'll be on the weekend. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, come join the Business Marketing Mixer. And yeah, they can't really replace the tone, emotion, um, human, like your brand voice. I mean, unless you're talking, right? So, um, but you can build, so it's robotic, right? It's robotic. Video by
yeah,
generative AI is robotic. So that's how you can kind of tell in the monotone of it all. There's no like inflection, you know? That's all you have to do in
yeah,
each
yeah.
video, and you'll know it's not AI.
Yeah, exactly. If you hear any sort of like upper movement or lower movement of the voice, then that'll definitely tell you that it's not AI. I'd say another limitation that comes to mind is I kind of talked about it at the start is length. Um, because what they do, why they limited you to 8 seconds is because they had someone try to generate a whole TV show with AI
Oh,
and it fell apart after 3 minutes. Like the like video started like mushing in on itself, and like
oh,
all the
interesting.
assets like it just couldn't do it for long periods of time, and it would confuse itself. and like moments that were supposed to be one thing became a different thing. It was like it's very weird, based on the reporting I read. Um,
I get that. I get that. And I mean, you can build a voice that sounds like you. You can build an image that looks like you, maybe kind of talks like you, but we will know. And although this is coming into the future, the reality is, I think that algorithms will downgrade. So any social media platforms, Google, like Gemini, are going to downgrade the videos, and they'll probably have something in the meta um, that says it's generative. I know Gemini puts a like watermark on their video now. Um, I
mm,
think it's also important to be ethical and transparent. You know,
yes.
in this changing world, that's how you're going to win. I think AI is changing production and it's giving us superpowers, but you can't win without your own vision. You can't win without the humanness involved, and you can't win without people trusting you. And if you're trying to make it so that your AI counterpart is you and you want people to think it's you, I think that's where you'll fail. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good to be honest and transparent, about anything you're doing online. And so I
are you
think,
typing?
uh, but I think that it's going to be in the future of things. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a snapback or something like
I
that,
do
where
too.
it's going to be a seek for like genuineness.
Yes, and things that aren't so polished, right? I think that's what they're saying. We're seeing a lot of video. Well, I'm seeing, I don't know if you're seeing this too, where people take their phone and they'll record their actual screen, be like, "We did our video," you know what I mean? And so they're
Yeah.
recording what you're showing on the screen and how it looks. Um, and I think that's really interesting that people want to see through the lens of the phone onto a desktop.
Ah,
So,
yes. There's a word for this. It's a
what's that?
fancy $5. It's called verisimilitude.
Oh,
So it
verisimilitude. Ooh, quiz
Yeah, there's a
question.
fancy. Yeah, no, it's a fancy $5 word, comes out of like early cinematography, but it's the idea of knowing, like, you do something that's recording of the thing, but you know that it works in the context of recording it. So it's like
Hmm.
filming something, but you do it in a weird way, and everyone knows and kind of accepts that it's like a fake reality. And
Mm.
so, it's very common in like, so there's a really famous scene in The Dark Knight, where they're doing a bike chase scene, and then all of a sudden it goes from night to day, like within
Okay.
1 second. But you accept that as part of the movie. There's a verisimilitude of knowing that this is a movie, and so that makes sense. Your brain like goes, okay, yes, because in the context of this movie, that makes sense. But you wouldn't do that normally, and so it's like that's kind of, by knowing it's
Mm.
recorded, you can do things that just wouldn't be part of real life, and you're recording it in order to make, like, it's kind of weird, like your brain kind of makes it make sense. um yeah, it's just sort of a weird concept, but I think, yeah, verisimilitude is going to be probably a really popular concept. Not people are going to know that that's what it is, but I think that that's going to be a thing where people, know that it's a fakened reality, and
Hmm.
and make their brains kind of accept that, as part of living in the world.
Now, before we go, we are going to, after this, share a bunch of links for you to try different video tools because there's lots of editing. The tools we use are fun and uh, useful, and I'd love to hear what y'all are using. Now, the tools are here. Marketing is moving. Jobs are real, and we just need to sharpen our edges to win, I think. Like, all this is happening. A lot of business owners think they can do a lot of this stuff on their own. But the reality is that that it's hard to implement. Business owners have their jobs to do, just like marketers, right? If you're a specialist, you're going to be specializing on video. If you're a specialist, you're going to be specializing on what you do. And so I don't think jobs are going anywhere. I just think it's how we do our jobs. It's changing. And so it is an exciting time, though, in video. Phelan, we're out of
Yes.
time. Do you know what we're talking about next week?
Uh, no, I don't.
You don't? We're talking about, oh, this one's fun. Okay, it's Arena and Phelan next week. And we're talking about the art of designing 404 pages and
Oh, yes, I did
how
know
to
that.
gauge, yeah, visitors. So I know they'll have some wicked examples for you because, I mean, 404 pages, you never want them, but if you get them, definitely it's a good thing to make people laugh and send them back to where they need to go. But that's
Yeah.
next week, September 18th, in the Facebook group, uh, which is, I was going to say Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer, but it's now the Business Marketing Mixer. You'll also find this video on YouTube at Seymour Digital Media. So we will talk to you next week, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.